this program, this research charrette is the third in an ongoing program by the centre to investigate better ways of living as we increase their density, particularly in this part of the world and in the southeast Queensland and the subtropical areas of the world, from the Sunshine Coast to the New South Wales border. They are significant challenges with a growing population. So in this program we've looked at high density, high-rise living. In the previous programs we've looked at medium density, medium-rise residential typologies, and prior to that the low and low to medium density typologies. But I think this one has really had to tackle the more difficult task, and we've seen a significant, I think, raising of the bar again in terms of the rigour of the investigation and the innovation in researching and developing new ideas for how to live in the subtropics. Thanks everyone for coming tonight, and as Rosemary said, this is the third in a series of research charrettes being conducted by the Centre for Subtropical Design. And I want to thank all of the participants. Nearly all of you are here tonight, and forgive me if I haven't come up and said hello to you, and thank you. Hopefully I'll do that before the end of the night. Everyone participated with a great spirit of sharing and engagement, and it was good to see the interaction actually occur not only within the teams but between the teams. And I think there was an exponential outcome as a result of that very generous collaboration. It's often been said about, and certainly I say it about our the architectural and the profession, and also our colleagues in other related professions here, that there is a much more collegial character to the way that we interact, and I'd like to think that we saw that manifested during this charrette. So thanks again for that. When we started the charrette, we talked about the fact that this wasn't business as usual. The teams that were selected and participated were all selected because of their significant experience in this type of work, and we hoped to leverage off that experience, encourage them not to feel constrained by the constraints that they normally work under, and to some extent try and forecast where we should be in the next 15 to 20 years if we are to start to build more responsible places for higher density living in this part of the world. For me, this is really the final frontier in apartment living to date. There are quite a few examples of low to medium density development, or low density and medium density development in this part of the world, which are starting to indicate more responsible directions. But the high density area remains the most significant challenge. I'm pleased to see tonight that everyone has taken up the challenge, and certainly what we see from all of the groups is not business as usual, and for that I congratulate you for taking us out to places that we haven't been to before, to sort of paraphrase Star Trek, so to speak. So tonight each of the four groups is going to share their odyssey from both the charrette and their more recent experiences, and I have asked in particular for each of the presenters to finish their presentation by sharing with us perhaps 3 or 4 or 5 of the key things that they have learnt from this process that they didn't know when they started. All of these submissions have been subjected to a fairly rigorous analysis. There's been a cost analysis undertaken independently by the Centre for Subtropical Design, and that reads some fairly, that gives us some fairly interesting feedback. I would also like to conduct this review tonight in a spirit of maximum sort of engagement and involvement by everyone here. So firstly, all of the speakers have almost guaranteed me that they're going to stick to their 5 minutes, and we will then enter into some discussion. So we welcome any particularly pertinent questions or issues, or if you have any thoughts about what's being presented, please share those with us.